All right, so today we're here with Coach Reza, looking great today in his kung fu outfit. Um,
Sure.
all right, so Reza, when I was living with you guys introduced me to Falun Dafa. I read the book; it was an amazing book. I started to do the practice as well. I feel like it gave me a tremendous amount of energy, and it felt really, really good. Um, there are a lot of people when you go on the Fallen Dafa's official website and stuff like that. There are a lot of people that are claiming that they've gained some incredible psychic abilities like telekinesis, remote viewing, levitation, things like that. Also, in addition to that, there's people that are saying that they've been able to heal themselves from like incurable diseases and illnesses and stuff like that. What has your experience been with Falun Dafa, and how has it benefited you?
Good question. So let's see. I haven't been asked this before, so let me go back to when I first started. It was I was 24 years old, so that was almost 13 years ago, and I was at a point where I didn't have any understanding of energy and what cultivation is, and Falun Dafa helped give me a very deep understanding from a scientific standpoint rather than just like mysticism and concepts and theories. He Master Lee kind of breaks it down, giving you concrete evidence and advice with regards to high level science rather than just what he said she said type stuff. So it helped me to develop a really good deep understanding for this energy stuff that people are learning about, and it the practices themselves. So I would do the lectures about I do one lecture a day, and I'd also read the book for a little bit, and on top of that, it helped me to become a better person. So by watching the lectures, by reading the books, it helped me become more aware of my the way I think, the way I treat people, the way I speak, and help me to just become a better person in general. Um, and then so the other thing from the aspect of the practice and the exercises, a lot of them are qigong, resemble qigong movements and things of that nature, and so I got all the health benefits that come from qigong. But when you can do it in a way that Master Lee would tell you to practice with no mind intent, it would take my cultivation levels to higher levels very quickly. Now it was hard for me to get to that point. I could only do maybe 1 minute out of say an hour where there's no mind intent because I was coming from an everyday person standpoint, from playing basketball, lifting weights, and working. It was hard to get to that point, and over time, those little bits of no mind intent while doing the practices actually helped to heal a lot of illnesses and problems that I had. And it was, of course, the healing came from many things, but Falun Dafa helped from the onset give me enough healing so that I could cultivate.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, okay. Now, Falun Dafa, as you mentioned, really stresses what is called Shinching. Could you explain what Shinching is and how that is important to the practitioners of Falun Dafa?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Shinching is absolutely fundamental. Without Shinching, your cultivation levels cannot rise. So without attention to Shinching, so a lot of people they miss out on that part, that aspect of developing their energy. From any standpoint that you come from, you could be doing yoga, you could be doing Tai Chi, Qigong, whatever it might be, where you're trying to cultivate your energy to higher levels. um, you're not going to get higher levels unless you are practicing Shinxing, focusing on what's called the heart mind nature. So with Falun Dafa, he has three main principles. In Chinese it's called Zen Shan Ren, and those three principles translated to English are roughly as follows: it's truthfulness, benevolence, and forbearance. So when you can apply those three concepts to your everyday life, then that allows you to attune to the principles of the universe. And of course, the principles of the universe are a high level vibration. And if you're not trying to attune to those, then you're obviously working on a lower vibrational level. And of course, your goal, if you want to, increase your energy levels, is to practice at a high level and to try and attune your frequency to the highest vibrations that you can get to. And, love and joy and peace, all those things are up there. But how do you practice those? And that's where Master Lee's principles of Zen Shanren come into play. So that's
Awesome,
basically
awesome. Okay,
what it is.
okay. Awesome. So what has been your Falun experience as far as psychic abilities are concerned? I remember you telling me that when you were doing Falun Dafa a lot, correct me if I'm wrong, you said that you were living in Florida at the time.
Yeah,
You left Almond's place for a little, or you weren't living with him, but
not yet.
yeah. So you went to Florida, and you told me something like you did Falun Dafa a lot and stuff like that, and like electronics will break and stuff like that. Could you share a little bit about that?
Sure. So it was kind of, Amin never told me that this is what I needed to do. I kind of did it on my own volition. And if I could go back and say, hey guys, it's probably not the best thing to do, I would tell you that. But what I did was I got obsessed with cultivation when I first started learning all the concepts Amin was teaching me and everything I learned from Falun Dafa. I kind of like mixed them all together. And so when I went away to Florida, it was because I was obsessed with cultivating energy. So I took literally 3 months to just focus on cultivation and not have to worry about work or anything. I went to a secluded area, and every single day I spent hours outside in the sun and holding different postures from like this to this. All the different exercises that Master Lee teaches, I would do them to the point that it was accumulating so much yang chi. And so basically, I caused myself to yang out. And that means that you cultivate too much yang chi without having first cultivated yin chi. And what happens there is it ends up overstimulating the nervous system, causing certain nerve fibers to burn out, and also causes misfirings of electricity, of high wattage electricity, because the exercises alone will give you high wattage electrical energy to accumulate and circulate through your body, but without having the proper vessel to sustain it, you're going to start firing this stuff off because your body can't hold on to that high wattage of energy. So yeah, I was burning stuff out like electronics. The cell phone I had burnt out. 2 laptops burnt out, completely just fried. Like I couldn't even turn them on or anything. A TV while I was down there burned, pretty much like just started sparking and then went out. And even lights sometimes, like I would just point to a light and not even be aware of what I'm doing. And
So you were like an electrokinesis just master at that point. Within that,
I wish not master, just like what's it called? Like Akira, gone. You know what I mean? Like someone who was accumulating all this energy but not knowing how to control it or what to do with it. And it was basically just firing off here and there and I had no idea why or what was
wow.
happening.
Okay, okay. So, in your opinion, doing too much Falun Dafa isn't necessarily good in your opinion, or could you clarify that a little bit?
Yes, everything in moderation. And, of course, the more you cultivate, the better. But when Master Lee was talking about cultivation, he was talking about Shinching. Be aware of your heart, mind, nature. What is your mind doing? What are your thoughts like? How are you carrying yourself within normal society? Being aware of that kind of stuff. That's the main thing. So if you can do that all day, every day, and that's great. But doing the actual physical exercises, you know, if you're holding, let's say you're holding this position, right? And if it gets to the point where you're thinking so much about, you know, oh man, what am I going to do later today? Or I wonder what I'm going to have for dinner. You know, if your mind is doing this, then you've been doing it for too long. You should stop, because now it's counterproductive.
Right, right, right,
You should be sincere with the practice,
right,
and you know what I mean. You should always be just doing it to the point that you get the benefits.
right,
So always something that has to do with energy and cultivation. The subtle way is always the best way. Hold it, like for example, if I'm holding this posture and all of a sudden I'm relaxed, because Master Lee explains that you should hold the structure, have good posture, but also be relaxed and allow the body to relax more into the posture, as opposed to trying to get tense and hold it up and
right,
start
right,
shaking. I was shaking like crazy. I was doing this
right,
kind of stuff.
right.
And
So
that
that's
was,
perhaps right. So that's perhaps the difference between like a lot of qigong practices and Falun Dafa. They, say no, like like just burning out your nerve fibers, just like creating chi balls and things like that. I mean, obviously that happens as a result of like holding these positions, obviously, but their main focus is just to do the practice, um, to exercise to so that you can open up your meridians and things like that. And
right.
also they
Another
really
thing, he doesn't want you to imagine things, you
right.
know, like, you know, how some Qigong teachers will say, okay, imagine you're holding a ball or
Mhm.
hugging a tree. You know, that's all in, from Falun Dafa's standpoint, it's all lower level
Right,
thing.
right.
Yeah. So he would say, you know, you're just simply holding this posture. That's it. No,
That's
no
it.
mind intent.
Right, right. Not like chi coming out or anything like that. Right, right.
Right.
So
Yeah.
right, right. And once again, and they really stress Shinching, cultivating Shinching. That's what the practice is all about and stuff. And that's what really separates Falun Dafa from the rest of the Qigong modalities that are out there, which is pretty much for like cultivating Qi pretty much and stuff like that. So, okay, okay. Awesome. So, Coach Reza, so
Yes.
um, obviously, Falun Dafa is highly controversial. It's very unfortunate, isn't it? Why is this so controversial when it's in fact such a great practice? It benefits. It has benefited so many people. It's done really nothing negative whatsoever to anybody. What? Why is this so controversial? Why is it banned? And could you demystify these misinformations that are out there regarding Falun Dafa? Could you do that for me?
Yeah. Sure. Really good point, Ken. So the CDC, you know, the people in charge of China, basically, you know, they originally started funding Master Lee and Falun Dafa. So they had no idea that it would reach the volume or amplitude that it did. And so once it got to the point that they were like, whoa, this is a huge movement. Like, this guy has more power than the leader of the Communist Party at this point. He's like, this can't happen. So the CDC, instead of backing Falun Dafa, started pretty much just talking bad about it and slandering it and putting out media that was not true. And unfortunately, when you got a government that's such a huge organization, with so much power, they're able to change the views of what people get to see. So in turn, that will change the view of the people in general. So, you know, Master Lee at one point had 300 million practitioners, 300 million back in 1998 or something like that.
So
Um,
ahead of his time, isn't it? I mean, like back when
yeah,
energy was like, like considered totally missed. I mean, nowadays, a lot more people are open to it, but I mean,
right.
Falun Dafa was so ahead of its time. So
Absolutely was. And
yeah,
because of that, you know, when you have so many people saying it's so good, there's always going to be someone else who's going to badger it and, you know, there's going to not necessarily an equal amount, but a large amount will also try to say, hate on it or doubt it. And unfortunately, the CDC was the other side of that coin. And of course, it was all had to do with media. And when Master Lee had that large of a following, and those people really, really believed everything. I mean, from every word that comes out of his mouth, it's as if a saint was speaking or a Buddha is speaking. And so, the CDC feared Master Lee's power, and Master Lee was such a humble person that he never tried to take that position of power that he had to use for his own self gain. But the CDC, of course, had different ideas, and their fear kind of consumed them and allowed them to start badgering the name of Falun Dafa.
Right. Well, our channel is about superpowers, you know what I mean? Like, we obviously put out, like, I put my mostly myself put out a lot of superpower demonstrations and things like that. But really, I mean, Master Lee, we'll play a clip real quick by Master Lee. Do a screen share real quick.
Cool.
I'm sorry, how do I do this? Hold on, I did it last time. Oh, there we go. Okay. Screen. Or am I on the? Okay. All right. So give me 1 second.
我们学员中有，但是大多数呢都不让他表现，因为那么多人都表现出来，他会破坏常人社会状态。
Truth, benevolence, forbearance.
So Reza, he just stated that practitioners can levitate. Would you say Falun Dafa, for most people that are watching this channel, is definitely something that you would recommend for people that are seeking superpowers? Because obviously, and let me pull up another. This is not an article. This is actually from the book itself. So it says the Great Heavenly Circuit is the movement of the 8 extra meridians, and it goes around the entire body to complete the cycle. If the Great Heavenly Circuit is open, it will bring about a state in which a person can levitate off the ground. This is what is meant by ascending in broad daylight, as mentioned in scripture of Cultivation. Nevertheless, an area in your body will usually be locked so that you will be unable to fly. Yet it will bring you to this state. You will walk quickly and effortlessly, and when you walk uphill, you will feel as if someone were pushing you from behind. The opening of the Great Heavenly Circuit can also bring about a type of supernormal ability. It can enable the chi that exists in different organs of the body to exchange positions. The chi of the heart will move to the stomach. The chi of the stomach will travel to the intestines, and so on. As one's Gong potency strengthens, if this ability is released outside the human body, it will become the supernormal ability of telekinesis. So obviously, this channel, we put out a lot of telekinesis demos and things like that. Pretty much flat out, Master Lee is stating that Falun Dafa, if you do Falun Dafa, you will get psychic abilities and things like that, right? There's another one that I found. I believe this one's an article actually that I was mentioning. So this is the article from Time Magazine from back in the day. And let me see real quick. So the Time Magazine reporter asked him, "Have you seen human beings levitate off the ground?" And Master Lee apparently said, "I have known too many. Can you describe any that you have known?" And Master Lee states, David Copperfield, he can levitate, and he did it during performances.
I heard that he's a practitioner. That's cool.
Right. So, and if you go onto their website, you can see a lot more testimonials regarding superpowers and things of that nature. Let me now go back to the normal screen real quick. How do I do that? Um, sorry.
That's
Excuse me,
okay.
guys. How do I oh no, wait, right here, stop here. Okay. All right. So we are back to normal. So Falun is flat out telling you that, if you do Falun, you're gonna have superpowers. But my master Lee also states that, you have to have Shinching. You have to have, good integrity, good morals, things of that nature. And that's far more important. That's something that we would definitely want to stress to our audiences and anybody that's like, really looking to become like a telekinetic or a superpower practitioner, right?
Oh yeah. For anyone who's trying to develop their abilities, um, your character is of utmost importance. You can only go so far by pushing your physical body. Um, the character aspect is something that can continue to rise, and you will get challenged in different parts of your life and different situations, and it's up to you to decide to stay on the same level or to continuously make upgrades by pretty much passing tests. And what's funny is I've seen it happen so many times to myself, to other people. I'm not aware of it at the time, and I'll fail the same test time after time again. And what happens is, it'll manifest itself in different ways. So no matter how hard you try, you know, the if you're meant to reach another level in terms of your cultivation, these tests will keep coming at you. The person who just sits on the couch and like I think Master Lee said this, but if you expect to just sit on the couch all day and drink some tea, some herbal tea and think that your cultivation level will increase, yeah, right. Like good try, nice try, but no. You have to, you know, experience trials and tribulations amongst normal society. But he also says not to disrupt normal society. So you can't be making scenes. You can't be, you know, um, acting like other people. If I'm trying to get a job and I've been working at a place for 5 years, this person comes along, they work for 1 year but get all buddy buddy with the boss. I feel like I should deserve the promotion, but the boss gives the buddy buddy the promotion. If I were a normal person, I'd go to HR. I'd go talk to the boss. I'd start slandering that person. But as a cultivator, it's my job to realize that, there's a place and time for me. This is just not my time. I need to be happy for this person. Even in my heart and in my mind, they need to connect and match. This is an example of a trial or tribulation that could happen to somebody. And I'm sure a lot of us may have gone through such things. And again, if you want to reach higher levels, then these are the kinds of things that you got to be okay with and kind of be able to recognize and deal with it appropriately. And without studying and really enforcing the principles, higher level principles of character development, of virtue is what it's called. All different religions talk about it, but if you're not constantly at least studying or listening or reading about these things, you'll forget to practice what and you may fail one test, but again, it'll come back again as long as you're still in the process of cultivation. So
Awesome. Okay. Okay. Well, thank you so much for that explanation and clarifying things about Falun Dafa. There's a lot of misinformation out there and stuff like that. And for those of you, a lot of people on this channel are looking to obtain superpowers. Definitely look into Falun Dafa. It's amazing. You don't have to buy anything. All the books are. You can go to their website and just download it off their website and things like that. All the lectures as well. Make sure you watch them and make sure you do that practice.
Ken, one thing.
What's up?
You mentioned something good. Yes, definitely. If you're interested, check it out. He's got everything. Master Lee put everything for free. But one important thing I wanted to talk about was the the idea of superpowers. So if you go wanting to attain superpowers,
Right. I forgot to mention that. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah.
Yeah, if
He
that's your
condemns,
goal,
he condemns. He says basically, don't come to me. In fact, it's the same thing for healing as well. He says, don't
yes,
come to this practice for healing or superpowers. Come to this because you want to return to your original self.
yes, very, very good, very good, very
So
important.
could you elaborate on that, Coach Reza?
Sure. Um, so if basically attachments are something that need to slowly, um, not you don't have to get rid of them, but you need to slowly, separate yourself from your personal attachments to certain things. And everyone that gets into cultivation, for the most part, has specific ideas of what the cultivation is going to do for them, as opposed to what you can do for the universe. You see where I'm coming from? So there's a selfish way of approaching it, and there's a selfless way or altruistic way of approaching your cultivation. So those people who go at it thinking, oh, I can get healing from this cultivation practice, they're only going to get a tiny little healing, and they're not going to get that much from it. Those of you that go at it thinking, oh, I can go practice this and it's going to give me the ability to move objects with my mind. I mean, maybe a little bit, but it's not going to be exactly what you're looking for, because that's not what it's for. Now, so it's like going through something with a small, little tunnel vision. Then this is all you're going to be able to accumulate. This is all you're going to be able to see. This is all you're going to be able to do. Now, if you open up and take it in a way that's, okay, I want to do this because this is really how I can become my true self. That's what it's all about. Learning about your true nature, your original nature, returning to that original nature. We're all born with that original nature, and then throughout our life we kind of forget about it. And so it's all about kind of returning to that. And so if you approach your practice with that idea in mind and no other attachments, then yes, you will receive healing from the universe. You will receive abilities beyond your dreams. They are side effects of your cultivation. The only thing you need to pursue really is being a good person. Pursue heart, mind, nature, and work on that, develop that in every situation that you have, and be grateful for every situation that you have to develop it. Don't get hung up and get stuck on it and be hard on yourself, but learn from mistakes and move forward and keep on reinforcing the stuff that helps you to build that. And you will get the things that you desire without approaching the cultivation with those desires. Because again, if you approach cultivation with a desire to heal or the desire to develop superpowers, you're not going to get what you're looking for. Like I said, you'll get maybe a little bit, and then you're going to be like stuck and wonder what's going on. So don't come at it like that, guys. Come at it in a way that you want to improve yourself and really give to the universe, to God, to the world. And with that approach, you will get the things that you're looking for.
Awesome, awesome. Well said, Coach Reza. Thank you so much. We will put Dafa's link in the description, so definitely check that out. And yeah, it's an amazing practice, so we highly recommend it for you guys to practice. So check that out, guys. Thank you so much, and we'll see you guys soon.
Happy Falun Dafa Day.
Happy Dafa Day.